What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to break down some big news that just came out involving Tesla and also what the share price of NIO in the market is likely going to do tomorrow. But let me first mention that I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit $500, you are guaranteed 20 free stocks. If you deposit $25,000 or more, you're guaranteed 75 of them. And the offer ends very soon in just about 6 days from now. Anyways, for NIO, we had a double top leg structure developed, and we do have some potential downside that could come as we come down to fill this gap. But once we get very close to that level, I do believe that NIO is going to try to base. We're only about 24 cents away from the level I think NIO could try to base at before we try to get a bounce. So I'm going to break down more details about this and how things could end up moving going forward. Now, as a reminder, tomorrow is going to be Friday, June 14th, 2024. Please know that 30 minutes after the market opens at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report, the 5-year inflationary expectations, and very important data that's going to affect the markets. Besides that, we have a couple of Fed speakers, and that's it for data. It's also worth noting that the fear and greed index is currently at fear. Fear is making up the majority of sentiment as of right now. The market is shifting a bit, but we'll have to see how things kind of perpetuate from here. Now, the reason why I'm recording this video so late is because I was actually listening to the Tesla shareholder meeting. The shareholders haven't basically approved almost everything that the Tesla board has wanted. So things are looking pretty good, at least for Tesla in that end. So once again, Musk's pay package has been approved by the Tesla shareholders. So have many other board propositions, such as the re-election of Kimball Musk and other people out there. There's also been a lot of talk about how the proposal regarding the reduction of director terms to 1 year, if properly presented, has been approved. And also, there are other things that are very important that involve like voting and such that were voted upon. They're also going to change the main location to Texas. So that's the incorporation move to Texas, which is very good. So a lot of good stuff came out. And then Elon Musk went on for hours just talking about FSD. He believes Tesla is going to be the most valuable company on the planet. He thinks that there's going to be over 1,000 Optimus robots producing and actually working at the Gigafactory within a year for Tesla and a bunch of other things. So very awesome stuff, very bullish stuff, if anything. I think Tesla could make a big move tomorrow. Looking at NIO currently is talking about the EL8, the smart and safe and more sustainable EL8, which is now available in Denmark, Germany, and the Netherlands, not to mention Sweden for the first time, which is great news for them, in my personal opinion. However, despite that, there's been a lot of criticism for NIO and many Chinese EVs out there because of the fact that right now, many European countries are raising tariffs. This is due to protectionism and a bunch of other factors. Not the best of news for NIO, but NIO, although it kind of like opposes additional tariffs in Europe, it's going to remain committed no matter what. So we'll just have to see what happens with NIO moving forward with these increases in tariffs. This will be a little bit more negative for them, but we just have to remain optimistic nonetheless. We'll just have to see what ends up being announced for them because right now there's been investigations for others out there from BYD to other companies involved in production. But right now, I'm not seeing news about NIO being investigated quite yet. So we just have to wait and see how things go. But that's making a lot of headlines, at least for now. Moving forward, we had about 27 million involving very low volume. NIO's kind of shopping around trying to base. And simultaneously, we have the short volume at currently kind of dropping all the way down to this 40% area. And then we also have Bank of America Securities maintaining a neutral rating, at least for the company. Moving forward, we also have, I'm just going to double check this, the price-price ratio is dipping because NIO is showing some weakness, but that's what I'm seeing for the share price, at least for now. What do I think is going to happen moving forward? Honestly, guys, we have this gap to fill down here. Tomorrow, NIO may pop up, but I do see some potential for it to actually dip lower towards the 4.3 area. And we'll have to see if we get a big bounce or not. If we do get that bounce, we'll be looking for a rebound. But I think we're going to dip a little bit lower before we see NIO attempts to bounce. So I think we could be approaching 4.2 before the bounce ends up coming. So look for a little pop and drop tomorrow. Watch NIO consolidate for a bit as we have low volume, but then a bounce could be coming later on once we get ready. Now for SPY, this ended up forming a very, very interesting uh, piece of price action for the day. We dipped a bit towards 539 only to get a bounce back up. We're just kind of trading sideways for now, but there is still this gap to fill all the way down to 537. If we close or hold below 540, I do expect that to happen. Tomorrow, I just want to make it very clear that right now, we're just consolidating between 540 and 544. So I expect that to happen again, just lots of sideways price action between that range. And if we end up losing 540, look for that dip all the way down. We need to actually hold below 540 and get a close on the 4-hour below that area for the dip back down. But I expect tomorrow we're going to see a little pop and drop and lots of sideways price action. There's going to be a risk of us dipping lower if we lose 540. So watch for that very carefully. As far as Tesla goes, Tesla's actually kind of down in the after hours. We could come down to fill this gap and then try to bounce, or even try to bounce in the morning. But I still expect there to be some more of a big, a big move to be coming to Tesla, at least moving forward. Tesla has a nice inverse head and shoulders like structure. I do expect a big breakouts to be coming in either direction, but I'm favoring the upside because the news that's come out for Tesla has been very bullish from Elon Musk. Not to mention a lot of talk about FSD, the Optimus robots, and Musk believing that Tesla is going to be worth more than almost any other company on the planet very, very soon. So, in my personal opinion, the inverse head and shoulders for Tesla is going to play out. I think we're going to likely see more upside. That seems more probable. For the short term, we'll see if we get a little dip back down towards 178 before we get a bounce or not. That's going to be very pivotal for the way the market ends up moving. So, we'll just have to give this some time. For the QQQ, like SPY, it's holding up very well, but watch resistance as we get closer to 480. That's going to be some tough resistance. So I think we're going to be range bound for now between 480 and about 470, this 476 area. We're going to kind of trade sideways for some time before we end up getting a move back down. We do have a gap to fill all the way down here around 474 and also in the 460s. So I think we're going to see some sideways price action before another attempt to move back down. Nvidia is pumping so far, looking awesome, but just be careful because we're approaching the 130 resistance. I think we could go a little higher on Nvidia before we start to hit 130, some tough resistance. And we'll see if we get a rejection or not and start coming back down. If we lose 127, look for the gap to 125. Otherwise, it's going to go a little higher and fight some tough resistance. Apple is also range bound right now, kind of stuck right here. If we lose this 12.5 area, we'll be looking at 210 and eventually 207. Watch resistance also at 215. If we do start turning, we'll be looking for a move to the downside. So otherwise, we're just trading sideways for now. For a few more like Amazon, we actually came down a bit today. Watch support. Can we get back above 184? If we do so, watch 185 or 20 EMA. If we end up failing, to hold 183, I'll be looking for a dip all the way down to 181.5. For Meta also has a bit of a drop coming. We have support currently around 501. If we lose this, we'll be dipping all the way down towards 498. If we hold this, we try to rebound. I am seeing potential for this to actually dip a little bit. For GameStop, we're actually, let me just double check this. GameStop, in my personal opinion, is just kind of trading sideways. If we do break through and actually get a close above 30 by tomorrow, we'll be looking for a rebound. Otherwise, it's just kind of consolidating and trading sideways. AMC is showing a bit more life, but it's still in a range between 5.5 and about 5.05. We've been stuck within this area for quite some time. So as of right now, we're just kind of range trading for the memes. With that being said, guys, for NIO, there could be a little bit more downside coming. The trend is still bearish, but we're going to be looking for a bounce later. So either we touch 4.24 and then bounce, or if the low technically is in, we could try to bounce from here. But I do anticipate there might be a little drop coming tomorrow before we try to bounce anyways. So watch to see if we get a bounce and we try to get back above 4.6 later. But look for a dip and then a bounce is the most likely possibility. All right, so thank you for listening. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys very soon. Sorry for being kind of late. I was just listening to Elon Musk's speech. That went on for a long time, but what he said was very optimistic for Tesla. But until I see you guys tomorrow, thank you for listening. Have a great day, and peace out.